Hello everyone and welcome back to another Sopranos video. If you haven't seen the latest video on the whereabouts of Furio, be sure to click the link on screen right now to watch it. Before we get started, if you enjoy this content, be sure to click the like button, hit subscribe, and click the bell to get notifications on all upcoming Soprano videos. Adriana's unfortunate cooperative relationship with the FBI is truly hard to watch, as we know that informants, rats, snitches, whatever you want to call them, are forbidden when it comes to the mafia. As the series progresses, we know that her cooperating with the FBI has led Adriana to deal with an extreme amount of stress, anxiety, has led to Adriana developing IBS, has resulted in domestic violence, and has her suppressing any possible information about her cooperation to any of her friends, family, and even her fiancé, Christopher. With Christopher's line of work being a gangster, it's natural that Adriana is constantly worried about him.
Let's be honest. What's our future here, Christopher? You could end up in jail, or something horrible could happen.
Not to mention his drug problem that he kept circling back to, but ultimately Adriana was worried that he would either die from a heroin overdose or get gunned down. Throughout the series, Adriana and Christopher go through many ups and downs, as we see her go through the agony of Christopher getting shot by his supposed friends Matthew and Sean, and the daily horrors of being in a relationship with a drug addict and being a victim of domestic violence. We see Christopher's drug addiction impact his life, but more importantly Adriana's when he is gunned down and robbed by drug dealers and then tragically suffocates their dog Cosette while he's high. Consequently, Adriana only wants what's best for Christopher and herself, as she hopes and dreams of the two running away and escaping the mafia lifestyle of New Jersey and living a better life.
I love Christopher, and sooner or later we're gonna get out from under all this shit and leave this fucking state.
A life that would potentially have Christopher focus back on his screenwriting, developing, and acting.
Remember that time, Lake George? How you loved it? We could live someplace like that, maybe. You could start writing again.
I could do my memoirs, finally.
During her collaboration with the FBI, at first, Adriana is confused as she feels as if they're after her to simply track down Christopher. She can be seen clueless during the operation, whether it was trusting a stranger in Danielle, who we all know was an FBI agent, with her life and opening up towards her so easily, or thinking that Pussy and Richie disappeared into the witness protection program.
Your Uncle Richie, suppose he's in the program too?
He is.
She knows that Christopher and all of his friends that he hangs around with and works for are dangerous and different from society, but she doesn't fully understand how people like Christopher and Tony make a living. The robberies, murders, and extortion never seem to click into her head for some reason. When we first see Adriana cooperate with the FBI, she can be seen incredibly nervous and scared, and rightfully so, as her life is in jeopardy due to a drug charge. We see very quickly that this secret that Adriana is holding in is eating her up on the inside and ruining her life.
I want to tell you all something. This is driving me crazy.
But you know you can tell us anything.
She discovers the horror of being a snitch when attending a girls' movie night at Carmela's house.
Don't you know about Pussy? He went in the program. He turned on everybody, us, the people he knew his whole life.
But while secretly meeting with the FBI, Adriana isn't really providing any incriminating evidence. She's answering yes or no to general questions and identifying individuals in photographs. She never agrees to wear a wire and eventually comes to terms that the FBI is more focused on targeting Tony and developing a RICO case against a family boss, instead of targeting someone like Christopher.
Robin,
What?
how much longer am I gonna have to keep doing this?
Major RICO against Tony Soprano? Those things take years to build.
While from the FBI's point of view, having Christopher would be nice, but ideally it's Tony that they're after. And now, Adriana knowing this information, was she simply setting up Tony as a way for her and Christopher to escape New Jersey? This theory is most noticeable in Season 5, Episode 5, Irregular Around the Margins. To give credit, this possibility and theory was discussed in the Talking Sopranos podcast. An absolute must-watch, by the way. If you love The Sopranos, please go check it out. But the theory was discovered and discussed by Michael Imperioli, who played Christopher.
This whole episode, Adriana is setting him up. And I think she's setting him up, this whole thing of them kind of having this flirtation. She wants to set him up so she could throw him under the bus so Christopher and her can go off into the sunset together.
During Adriana's and Tony's relationship that seems to develop in just a few short days while Christopher is away, we see the two flirt together, are friendly towards each other by playing darts, opening up about their health with one another, and are doing drugs together. But on a more closer look, Adriana is doing all of this in order to throw Tony under the bus and provide a way for the FBI to obtain information on Tony, but also as a way for her and Christopher to escape from the mafia lifestyle that she has always so desperately wanted. It's interesting to note, while chatting with Agent San Severino, Adriana opens up about Tony. She discusses how nice he's been, how he had ducks in his swimming pool, and she even says this.
Oh, if you think I'm gonna blow this guy for your sick purposes, you are sadly mistaken.
It's quite possible that Adriana thought of the idea that if she develops some sort of a sexual relationship with Tony, she knows that he won't say no to his recent separation with Carmela, but also Adriana's attractiveness. She finds him somewhat of attractive, Christopher is gone down south for business, but also maybe the potential for a sexual relationship or fling could lead to Adriana getting information from Tony that the FBI would want, resulting in the FBI leaving Adriana alone, and as we know, she's beginning to get irritated with the whole cooperating process, especially behind Christopher's back.
I am being, like, ripped apart here, snitching on people. For what?
We see Adriana openly flirt with Tony while Christopher is gone and seems to be attracted to him, and earlier she denied that she was going to give Tony oral sex just to get information for the FBI. However, Adriana is the one who drops the darts on the ground and goes down on her knees in the oral sex position. It's almost as if before the two get close enough to almost kiss, that she's contemplating what she said earlier to Agent San Severino, and that she's contemplating kissing Tony as a way to get information. We later see her and Tony bond over their health issues, with Tony opening up to Adriana about cancer, and Adriana opening up to Tony about IBS. Later on, we see Adriana digging and trying to get information for the FBI from Christopher before he heads off to North Carolina.
Why do you have to go anyway? Can't they just drop this stuff off?
Tony wants me to talk to the guy down there.
The jerk you were yelling at on the phone? Is that the cigarette thing you were talking about?
Back at the Crazy Horse, Tony makes an appearance and Adriana seems happy and glad to see him. And she even comes up with an excuse to ask Tony for Christopher's cell number to get information on his trip down south. But Tony doesn't give in. Also in this episode, we see that Adriana is pushing Tony and at times almost teasing him with her sexuality and attractiveness as a way to possibly lure Tony in. But sadly, we know that Adriana's plan to try and seduce Tony as a way to get information never works out, as she later confesses to Christopher about working with the FBI and is eventually killed. When I first watched this episode, I thought there was just a simple physical attraction between Tony and Adriana, but on a more closer look, the theory does have some interesting points, and there is definitely some evidence there to support it. And if you really look close enough, these details stick out throughout the episode. Try rewatching the episode and let me know what you think. Do you think Adriana was trying to seduce Tony as a way to get information for her and Christopher to ride off into the sunset, or do you think it was all just a happy accident? Let me know down in the comment section below. For more Sopranos theme videos, keep it locked here, right here on this channel.